The new 30,000 square metre roof, covered by a canopy made from Teflon-coated fiberglass, was designed by Foster & Partners, with the fabric roof designed by Bureau Happold, both from the UK, and other structural design by Schmidt-Strumpf-Fruhoff from Munich. The reconstructed building was nominated for the 2006 Sterling Prize and won the 2007 Estructure Award for Heritage Buildings, given by the Institute of Structural Engineers. Dresden Hauptbahnhof has 19 tracks. 12 carry traffic through the station, whilst the remaining 7, all from the west and located in the middle of the station, are terminal tracks. In addition, there are 2 tracks on the south side for freight trains. This layout makes Dresden Hauptbahnhof unique among German main railway stations. The station is the hub of the VVO public transport network. Tram lines serve 2 faces of the station. Lines 3 and 8 serve the centre of the station, adjacent to the ticket hall. Whilst lines 7, 9, 11 and 10 serve the north of the station, alongside the shopping complex that includes a fully fledged Lidl supermarket. Heading into the station from the north is EuroCity 173, the 0614 from Hamburg to Villach, where it arrives at 22:40. Friedrichstadt is on the southern of the 2 main lines to Leipzig, near the harbour. Adjacent to the yard on the west side of the lines is the Dresden Container Terminal, DB Schenker offices, and the VW Logistics Hub. It's a relatively small terminal, served by 2 tracked gantry cranes and a reach stacker. The container terminal, opened in 2007 to replace the DR terminal near Neustadt, was built on the site of former workshops and is operated by BTS Kombiwagen, part of DB. The terminal has an annual throughput of 90,000 units, which equates to 4 trains a day in and 4 out. The cargo centre includes the logistics hub for VW, who bring in parts for use in their Dresden factory, the so-called transparent factory, named so because it is constructed of glass, and you really can see all the way through it. The components come from other VW Group factories, including Mosel near Chemnitz, Mlada east of Prague, and Bratislava. This is Devinska Nova Ves, 10 kilometres north of Bratislava and home to VW in Slovakia, and their largest investment in the former East. The train on the right is composed of sliding wall vans used to shuttle components between various group factories. Rather than send trucks through the city, from the cargo centre, VW came up with the innovative idea of using specially built trams to shuttle across town. 2 cargo trams were built by the Schalke Eisenhütte Maschinenfabrik, aka Schalke, at a cost of 6.5 million Deutschmarks each. Because Dresden operates a non-standard track gauge, bogies from old Dresden Tatra trams were reused to save money. The cargo trams are in 5 sections: driving trailer, 3 trailers, driving trailer. The load is secured behind sliding tarpaulin walls. The yard was rebuilt by the GDR-DR in 1947 and progressively modernised. In the late 1950s, beam retarders were installed. In the 1970s, automation of the turnouts was completed and the hump was rebuilt and reprofiled. The yard became one of the busiest in East Germany, the major wagon exchange point with the former Czechoslovakia. At its peak in 1981, when electromechanical interlocking was installed, the yard had the capacity of 5,000 wagons a day. With the collapse of communism came the collapse of the traditional industries across the bloc. Rail freight activity, especially cross-border working, collapsed as well. The first town south of Dresden is Pirna, population about 40,000. The town lies alongside the Elbe and is dominated by the imposing Schloss Sonnenstein. The railway runs below the Schloss on a low brick-built embankment tight by the river, which makes the town very vulnerable to flooding. Running southbound is an SBB Cargo tracks with an empty grain train. SBB have been hiring out surplus locomotives, extremely useful for the likes of ITL, especially during the busy but short grain season. This is a DB Class 180 with a southbound wagon load. We can follow the train for about 3 kilometres from Stadtweilen through Kurort Rathen and onwards towards Königstein. The cement train passes through Königstein, but before it disappears around the gentle bend in the Elbe, it's passed by a northbound EuroCity. This is EC 172, the 0526 from Villach to Hamburg. It will arrive at Altona station at 21:48. Traction is a CD dual system class 363. The rolling stock used by OBB on its EuroCity trains, and indeed its domestic intercity trains, remains comfortable but is showing its age. With the influx of rail jets, both OBB and CD are taking the opportunity to move on some of the oldest vehicles. CD plan to keep their displaced EuroCity cars by deploying them on regional trains such as Prague, Ústí-nad-Labem, Czech services, while OBB seek buyers for their surplus vehicles. Interest has been expressed by Student Agency and HDK, the latter for open access trains in Germany. The next and last town south in Germany is Bad Schandau. Bad Schandau, as the name suggests, is a spa town. It has a permanent population of about 4,000, but this is considerably exceeded by visitor numbers, especially in August and September. The railway station is on the wrong side of the river, but the station side is linked to the town side by a frequent foot ferry and regular bus services that use a modern crossing 500 metres to the north. The station and the track layout has been modernised in the last few years to accommodate both the frequent S Bahn trains and regional trains to Decin. However, most of the new infrastructure is dedicated to changing locomotives on freight trains. This is a relatively rare example of a train that won't change traction here. It's an intermodal from Hamburg, connections to Scandinavia. This is a proper intermodal, not just a container train. It conveys both bottom lift swap bodies and semi-trailers. The German-Czech Republic border is just around the bend that we see ahead of us, but it's a staggered border, so in this picture, the northbound loaded car train is still in Germany, while the camera is shooting from the Czech Republic. Thank you for travelling down the Elbe through Saxon Switzerland with Ticket to Ride. Our journey alongside the river continues when we explore the Elbe in the Czech Republic, starting at Děčín. And continuing to the industrial city of Ústí nad Labem, a major crossroads in the rail network of the north of the Republic. We then follow the railways. Much of the way there are main lines on both banks, through towns large and small, to Prague. Lots to enjoy. Do join us. Until then, it's bye for now.